Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our class. So today we'll be studying about plant reproduction. Okay, it means that how plants make another plants. Okay, plant reproduction. All right, so Chinjang is here also. Good afternoon, Chinjang. All right, so here we'll be studying the different types or parts of flowers, okay? Because flower is the part of a plant responsible for reproduction, all right? So again, flower is a part of a plant which is responsible for plant reproduction, okay? The job of the flower is to have reproduction, right? So let's start now. Okay, so I have here a piece of a flower. Okay, can you tell me the parts of a flower in the chat box, please? Do you know the different parts of a flower? Okay, let's see. Please type your answer in the chat box. The parts of a flower, let me see. Okay, I have here plume. Okay, plume. Very good. Okay, who else? How about the other students? Parts of a flower. Okay, Yok said. Okay, aside from that, what else? Plume, Yok. All right, Yok. That's a lot. Thank you. How about the other students? Jirtam, Xinjiang, Namuan, Seaweed, Jean. What are the parts of the flower that you know? Plume said pollen, Yok said stigma, petal, and ovary. Right, Xinjiang said a stem. Okay, so stem. Basically, let's see, stem, part of a flower. Flower, okay, flower. Filament. What else? Xinjiang said stem. Okay, so I think this one is the stem. Okay. This one is the stem, right? This one, stem. Filament. Okay, Yok. Okay, what else? What else? Anther. Okay, anther. You have said already, a lot already. Oi. Q. Xinjiang. What do you know? All right, very good. Okay, so Yok knows a lot of the different parts of flower, and Xinjiang said stem also, and then Plume said pollen, right? Okay, so these are the different parts of a plant. What else? No more? How about the other students? Maybe you know in Thai. So my God, maybe you know in Thai, but you find it difficult to know the name in English? Or is it the same name in Thai, Yok? In Thai, is it the same in Thai and the English? You have the same name for that? Yok, same name in Thai and in English for the parts of a flower? All right, so no, okay, they're not the same. Okay, so maybe that's why maybe you know it in Thai. Okay, but it's hard to remember in English. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for participating. All right. So flowering plants are considered the highest evolved plants on the surface of the earth. Okay, they evolve. Okay, meaning they change because they can reproduce. Okay, meaning they can make another plant both sexually and asexually. When we say sexually, through the flowers, and asexually through the other methods, such as the stem, okay, through the stems. Now, in here, as I have said, a flower is the part of a plant which is responsible or which does the job of reproduction. Okay. Now, sexual reproduction in plants occurs in sex organ, which is the flower. Okay. So in plants, flower is considered as the sex organ. Okay. When male and female gametes join together, the process is called fertilization. Okay. When the male and female part they join together, they form the process called fertilization. Right? Now, we have here the flower structure, okay, the structure of the flowers. Now, we know already, I think you know already, that flowers have different characteristics depending on the type of the flower, okay, because we have a lot of flowers and flowers look different, okay. We have different kinds of flower, but basically, most of them, okay, most of the flowers should have of these 4 parts. Okay, these are the 4. Again, these are the 4 main parts of a flower. Okay, most flower should have these 4 parts. Okay, number 1, they have the petals. Okay, so this one, the red one here, these are the petals. Okay, and then another one, they should have the sepals. Okay, the sepals, and then another one, they should have the pistil, and then the 4th one, they should have the stamen. Okay, so these are these are the 4 basic parts of a flower. Okay, generally a flower has these 4 basic parts. Now we're going to know what are the function or what are the job of these parts and what are the other parts aside from this 4, okay, because these are the 4 basic parts. Okay, now let us have the other parts aside from this 4, and let us have the job. What are the function or the job of this different parts of the flower? Okay, so let me proceed. Next one here. Okay, so first we have what we call what is that? Yolk, right? I said here stigma. Okay, so this one is the stigma. Okay, this part here. Okay, by the way, this part here is okay. This part here is the pistil. Okay, pistil. Let me use the yellow one. Okay, this part here is the pistil. Okay, pistil. That's the pistil. And this part, this upper part here is called the stigma. Okay, that's the stigma. Next part here is called style. Okay, this one here, it's called style. Okay, it's a filament. It's like a tube. Okay, a small tube. Okay, that's the style. Another one here is called the ovary. Okay, this one is called the ovary. Okay, if it is if this flower is for a plant bearing fruit, okay, this ovary will eventually become a fruit. Okay, this ovary will become a fruit. Okay, this will become a fruit. Next one, next part here is okay, together these 3, stigma, style, and ovary, together they form the female part. Okay, so this one form the pistil, which is the female part. Okay, the female part of a flower. Okay, pistil is made up of stigma, style, and the ovary. Okay, another one. This is the ovule, okay, the inside one, any smaller one here inside. This is the ovule, okay. If this one will eventually become the seed? What is inside? Sorry, the fruit, okay. If this ovary will become the fruit, this part inside the ovule, which will become the seed, okay. Ovary. When this becomes mature, the ovary will become the seed. Ovary will become the fruit. Okay, the ovary here, this one, let me write the ovary. will become the fruit. Okay, it will become the fruit. Remember that. Okay. Next, and this small one here inside the fruit, this will become, and this is called the ovule. Okay, and the ovule will eventually become the seed. Okay, the seed of the fruit. Okay, this will become the seed. Okay, again, the ovary will become the fruit and the ovule will become the seed, right? And this one together, they're called the pistil, or the female part of a flower. Okay, next one. We have another one is called the anther. This one, the yellow one here. And you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they're called the anther. Okay, anther. And then another one, we have the filament. Okay, this small tube here, small tube, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are called the filament. Okay, they're called the filament. And together the anther and the filament are called the stamen. Okay, the stamen is the male part. Okay, for the boys. Okay, the male part of a flower. Okay, so meaning number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, these yellow ones are called the stamen. Okay, the male part of a flower, stamen. Okay. Next, it's easy to remember. Okay, stamen, men. Okay, men meaning boy, or this one is the pistil, female. Okay, stamen, men. Okay, easy to remember. Coming up. Okay, next part is called the petals. Okay, the red ones here, we have 1, 2, 3. These are called petals. Okay, the beautiful ones, petals. And then another one we have, next number, sepals. Okay, sepals. Okay, this one here, sepals. Okay, these are called the sepals. All right, so these are, class, the basic part of a flower. Okay, and this one we have here the stem, right? The stem. Or in some books, you will see this one, pistil. They call it the carpel. Okay, the pistil or the carpel. Okay, if you will see this in some books. Okay, carpel. Okay, pistil or the carpel are the female part. Okay. So this are, now let us know what are the function or the job of each part of the flower. Okay, meaning what does the pistil do, what does the stamen do, what does the petals do, and what does the sepals do. All right, so let us take them one by one. Let's study them one by one. All right, so the first one is the pistil, which is the female reproductive structure. Okay, and we know that it has 3 basic parts, or 4 maybe. Okay, yes, only three basic part, because the ovule is not included. Okay, so the pistil, which is the female reproductive part, has 3 structures. What are those? You still remember? We have the stigma, the style, and the ovary. Okay, 3 parts because the ovule is not part of it. Okay, we have again the pistil or the carpel. Okay, carpel, the pistil or the carpel have 3 basic parts. Okay, stigma, style, and ovary. Right? So stigma first. What is the function of the stigma? The stigma, this one at the top or the tip, okay, it's a sticky tip which trap the pollen. Okay, when the pollen from here, when the pollen here, okay, gets here on the stigma, it will stick here. Okay, it will stick here on the stigma, right? And then the style, this one, the tube, this one is called the style. It's a slender tube. Okay, it transports the pollen from the stigma to the ovary. Okay, so the stigma here, from the stigma, the pollen from the male part, when the pollen go through the stigma, and then the pollen will be transported going to the ovary, right? Going to the ovary. So this one is the ovary, okay? Ovary, and the smaller ones here, these are the ovule or the seeds, okay? And number 3 is the ovary, okay? The ovary contains the ovules, which will eventually develop into fruit, okay? Again, the ovary will become the fruit, okay? So this one is the ovary, this one is the ovary, and it will become a fruit, okay? And then the ovule here inside, letter D, this is not part of the carpel, but the ovule contains the egg, okay? It contains the egg cell, which develops into a seed, okay? A seed when fertilized, okay? That's for the female part, okay? Pistil or carpel. Next, stamen, okay? The stamen is for the male reproductive structure, okay? Male reproductive structure. We have 2 parts, okay? Stamen are made up or is made up of 2 parts. First is the filament, which is a thin stalk which supports the anther, okay? The job of the filament is to support the anther, okay? The anther, which is a knob-like structure, produces the pollen, okay? The pollen here, the pollen is produced here at the anther, okay? Anther. What is a pollen, teacher? What is a pollen? Okay, a pollen is, or it contains microscopic cells, very small cells that become the sperm cell for the flower. Okay, it becomes the sperm cell for the flower. All right, pollen. Okay, so the pollen here, microscopic, very small particles found at the anther. Okay, when there's a wind, the anther goes through the stigma, okay, and from the stigma it travels through the style going through the ovary, right? That is what happened, okay? This one, for example, okay, can you see this one? These are the pollen, okay, pollen, okay, this one here, very small parts, these are the pollen, okay, attached, okay, attached here at the anther, right? Next, okay, so we have the male and the female. Another one, number 3 is the sepals. Okay, the sepals, it encloses and protects. Okay, this green part here, when the flower is not yet blooming. Okay, when the flower is not yet blooming, this cover here is called the sepals. Okay, the job of the sepals is to protect the flower. Okay, to protect the flower before it blooms. Okay, this one is protecting the flower. And number 4, we have number 4 is the petals. Okay, the colorful, many colors, Jamaica. The colorful and scented. Okay, its job is to attract. Okay, it is very colorful because its job is to attract pollinators. Okay, pollinators are insects. Okay, insects that can bring the pollen. Okay, to the stigma. Okay, what are those insects? For example, what do you know? Insects that are called pollinator. Insects. Do you know? Pollinators are insects that could bring the pollen from the anther to the stigma. Do you know that? We have bees, right? Bees. Bees. Aside from the bees, what else do you know? Only bees, right? And there are other smaller insects, okay? Or if there are other smaller insects, okay, aside from the bee. But most commonly, right, we know These are bees. Okay, bees are considered the pollinators. Okay, okay, what's this? Butterfly, you said. Yes, it could be. Yes. Okay, I didn't. Okay, very good. Butterfly. Chai cap. Butterfly. Okay, so they are considered pollinators. Okay, when the pollinators step on the anther, the pollen grain will be attached to the feet of the insect. Let's say it will be attached to the feet of the bees or the butterfly. And then when the butterfly step on here, the stigma, the pollen will be left here. Okay, some of the pollen will be left here. Okay, and the pollen will travel through this part. Okay, the ovary. Okay, so let's see if you can still remember. Let's try. What do you call the female part again? What do you call the female part? Where is, hello, let me, Chertam. Hello, Chertam. Can you turn your mic on for me, please? Yes. Chertam?
Yes.
Yes, Chertam. Okay, what do you call the female part of the flower? Chertam, please. It's called, this part here is the female part. What do you call the female part of the flower? Chertam. How can help Chertam? How about Oi? Hello, Oi?
Yes.
Okay, what is the female part of a flower called Oi? It's called, the one with yellow here, it's called the female part. What do we call them? It's called pistil, or what's the other word? Pistil, or what is the other word? Pistil, P-I-S-T-I-L, or carpel. Okay, carpel, C-A-R-P-A-L, P-E-L, carpel. Okay, pistil or carpel. Okay, if you cannot remember carpel, right? Just remember pistil. Okay, pistil. That is the female part, and the pistil consists of 3 parts also. Okay, what we call the highest one here? It's called the, what do you call that? Stigma. Okay, and then we have the ovary. Inside the ovary, we can find the ovule. Okay, inside the ovary, we have the ovule. Okay, and then we have this one are the male part. Okay, this is the male part. Okay, we have the anther and what do you call this one? And then the beautiful one, this one is called the petals. Okay, the petals. And this one here, the smaller one here, the green one, are called the sepals. Right? So these are the different parts of the flower. Okay, later we will review again, for you to remember. Okay, next we have, there are different types of flowers. Okay, we have what we call perfect and imperfect flower. Okay, perfect and imperfect flowers, because there are different types of flower. Now, what is the difference between perfect and imperfect flower, teacher? Now, when we say a perfect flower, it has the pistil and the stamen. Okay, meaning in one flower, it has both the pistil and the stamen. You can find in one flower. Okay, if a flower has both the pistil, the female part, and the stamen, the male part, we say that the flower is a perfect flower. Okay, perfect flower. Now, if the flower has either a pistil or a stamen, meaning only one, it could either be the pistil or stamen only, pistil only or stamen only. It's called imperfect flower. My child perfect. Okay, imperfect flower. Okay, so I have here. Okay, which one of these two? This one, the pistil and the stamen. Okay, consists of the filament and the pollen and then the anther, the stigma, style, and the ovary. Which one is the male? And which one is the female? Okay, so this one is the male. And this one is the female. Okay, female. All right. Aside from that, aside from perfect and imperfect flower, we also have we also have what we call unisexual. Okay, unisexual. Okay, when I say unisexual, it's just like imperfect flower. Okay, because it contains only one reproductive part. Okay, unisexual, or sometimes that it's called imperfect flower because it contains only one reproductive part. Okay, either male or female only, right? There are flowers or there are plants which has only one part. Okay, either the male or the female. Example, okay, corn. Okay, the flower of a corn. Okay, this is the male part. This is the male part of the flower, and this is the female part. Okay, the female part of a flower. What else? The flower of a cucumber. Okay, cucumber. Different part for the male. Okay, different part for the female. Okay, meaning in one flower, it's either a male or a female. Okay, and there are many other plants which are called unisexual, meaning in one flower, it's either a male or a female only. Okay, that is unisexual. Another one is bisexual. Okay, bisexual, bi. It contains both the male and the female. Okay, male and the female in one flower. Okay, bisexual is same with complete flower. Okay, complete flower, meaning you can find both the pistil and the stamen in one flower. Okay, they're called perfect or bisexual flower. Okay, example, this flower. Okay, so we have the stamen, and then we have the carpel or the pistil. Okay, the carpel or the pistil. Same with this one. Okay, you can find what's that at the center here? You can find the carpel, and you can find the stamen in just one flower. Okay, remember? Understand? Okay, let's try this one. Look at flower A and flower B. Okay, flower A and flower B. What can you say about the flower? What can you say about the flower? Complete and incomplete flower. Which one is a complete flower and which one is an incomplete flower? Which one is a complete flower? How about plume? Is plume here? All right, Yok said. How about Ing? Hello, Ing. Are you here, Ing? Can you turn your mic on, Ing? Hello, Ing. Not here? Okay, how about Chertam? Hello, Chertam. Yok said, what is a Yok? Is it complete or incomplete? Is that complete or incomplete? Incomplete. A. All right. Oi said A is a complete flower and B is an incomplete flower. Yok said A is a complete flower. How about the other students? Which one is complete? A is let flower A complete or incomplete? B complete or incomplete? Nam1. How about I have 10 students only. One left the class. Okay, I don't know who is that. One of your classmates left the class. Okay, what's that? Let me check. Chertam said A is a complete flower. Okay, Chertam said A is a complete flower. It means B is an incomplete flower. Chertam, Chamika? All right, why? Okay, why? Because flower A has both the pistil and the stamen. Okay, the pistil and the stamen. The pistil is the female part and the stamen is the male part. Okay, but for flower B, it only has, which one? It only has the female part. It only has the pistil. Okay, but no stamen. Okay, there's no stamen here. Okay, if it has this one, the purple one, the stamen, therefore it's a complete flower. Or what's the other word for complete flower? It's called unisexual or bisexual. Okay, unisexual. Okay, unisexual is an incomplete flower and bisexual is a complete flower, right? I remember, okay, unisexual is an incomplete flower and then bisexual is a complete flower, right? Easy to remember, Jamika. Okay, do you have a question? These are the different types of flower, and these are also the different parts and function of a flower. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quiz. If you let's see if you can remember